guys, today we are doing the soft glam look that's going to be perfect for the holidays. And if you want to learn how to do this look on yourself, I really recommend grabbing your makeup right now and actually doing the look as you're watching the tutorial with me together. You're only going to need 2 brushes for this eyeshadow look, and I'm pretty sure you already have them in your collection. A larger blending brush like this one and a smaller tapered brush like this one. Throughout the whole tutorial, I'm also going to be sharing my tips to really hydrate your skin before makeup, also during makeup, because during my makeup today, I had some problems with the hydration on my skin. I started off with very dry, flaky skin, and I finally got to this, which I'm pretty happy with. If you struggle with dry skin as well, then I think this tutorial is going to be really helpful for you. So as always, we're going to be starting with skin prep, and my skin is especially dry today because I took a longer walk yesterday and my potato head forgot to apply moisturizer, which was a huge mistake. So my skin now is like super flaky and dry, like it's actually exfoliating, and you can see how dry it is. Normally I would apply a very hydrating mask before doing my makeup, but for the purpose of this video, I'm actually going to try to save it using just a few products. So if you have very dry skin, I highly recommend this product. This is the Mixun Bean Essence. I'm sure you've heard of it. I've talked about this product so many times. It has a slimy consistency. It's kind of like snail mucin, and you can actually use it as an exfoliator and as an essence as well. You have to massage this on your face for about 5 minutes, I would say, before you can actually see the dead skin cells coming off of your face, which is oddly satisfying to see. Okay, so I definitely have a lot of dead skin cells coming off. I'm going to go wash this off and I'll be back to apply another layer of essence. This is how my skin is looking so far. You can definitely see that it's not flaky anymore. It's very clean and it feels very soft, but it does feel a little bit dry still. So I'm going to go in with a little bit more of this essence because it actually hydrates so well as well. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit on my face to absorb, and then in the meantime I'm going to do my brows. I'm using this brow wax from Sephora. You've seen me use this before, in a downward motion, and then I'm going to lift them up and set them in place. And then I'm going to go in with my moisturizer, and for today I'm using the Oligo Hyaluronic Acid Calming Cream from the Lab by Blank Dew. So in the meantime, just until these products absorb, I'm going to carve out my brows using this concealer trio from T-Fit. I'm going to use the lighter and the medium color. I'm using a tapered concealer brush like this. It's going to make my brows so much more cleaner, and I'm not going to need that much brow product on because they're already going to be defined. So this is one of the best hacks I like to do for my brows. A brush like this will actually give you so much precision, and it will basically do the job for you. But I'm also stabilizing my hand on my table. I have a table here in front of me, and I'm also stabilizing my hand here so I can have more precision. I like to do this before applying foundation because after applying foundation, this is just going to blend seamlessly in, and it's not going to be very obvious where I applied my concealer. You can see my brows already look like I have something on them. They already look pretty defined. I'm just going to have to draw some hairs in here because I like to kind of map out where my eyebrows should end, and I have some sparse hairs here and also here, so, and a bit maybe at the end of my brows. I'm going to blend all this concealer in with a damp beauty blender. Something I always tell everyone when using a beauty blender is to make sure your beauty blender is wet, but it's not too wet, because if you have excess water in it, the water is just going to get mixed in with your products, your foundation or your concealer, and it's going to create patches on your skin. Always wash your beauty blender before using, obviously, but then after washing, make sure you either leave it out to dry a little bit, or you put it in a clean paper towel or a clean towel, like face towel, and it's going to absorb the excess water and leave you with just the perfect moisture for your sponge. A way to check if this is too wet is if you can squeeze it really hard, and then if water comes out of the sponge, or you can feel water coming out of the sponge, then it's definitely too wet and you shouldn't use it like that. After blending this slightly, my skin has absorbed my moisturizer, but because my skin was especially dry today, I'm going to go in with another product because I want a bit of a glowier look today. So I'm going to use this one today for an extra layer of hydration. So I have many layers of hydration today, but you've seen how flaky my skin was at the beginning, and that was because it was severely dry, so I needed to severely hydrate it. Shake this up. It smells amazing. So this is my skin currently. After applying all those products, I'm very happy with it now. So I'm going to go in with foundation. For foundation, I'm using my favorite one, the MAC Studio Fix Fluid in color NC15. I'm going to apply it on my skin using a spatula, and then I'm going to buff it out using a foundation brush. I'm just going to blend it just a little bit more with my beauty blender. I'm going to go in with concealer, and I'm going to use the same wheel of concealer that I've used before, using the lighter shade. Blend it in with my beauty blender. And then I'm going to lightly bake. I'm using the Inglot Stage Sports Studio Mattifying Loose Powder and a powder puff. My powder, dab it on the back of my hand to remove the excess, and then underneath my eyes. I'm going to actually leave the bake under my eyes for a little bit while I do my contour and my blush. For contour, as always, I'm using my contouring palette from Vicon, and I'm just going to go upward from my bone here. I'm going to go a little bit up so I can contour a little bit more and make my face look a bit slimmer. With contour, you really want to apply this slowly and in small batches, because if you apply too much contouring, it's going to be too dark and it's going to be harder for you to correct your mistakes. However, if you've applied too much contour or blush, you can always go in with a lighter powder on top and work in circular motions to lighten the product a little bit more. I actually have a video up on how to correct if you've used too much blush, so you can go ahead and watch it and you can correct contouring the same way. Now you can see, even with that many hydrating products, my skin is still dry and still ate up a little bit of my foundation in here. There's nothing else I can do now. I'm just going to apply the face mist from Daba again to hydrate a little bit more, just so I don't have any more patches on my skin. But sometimes whatever you do, you're just not going to be able to fix the problem in a day. I should have used a hydrating mask before applying my makeup. That would have probably worked better. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how my foundation looks, and it's just going to be a small patch in there. Hopefully, I'm not going to have more. I'm going to try to hide that with blush, maybe. It's just your reminder that that is normal. That's skin, it's texture. Your skin is not going to be perfect, especially if you neglect it like I did. Yesterday, I knew I was going out in a pretty strong wind. I should have hydrated, and this is the consequences of not hydrating my face. Brows are leaving me. Makeup is not makeuping today. We're just gonna have to roll with what we have. Actually, that's fine, because I'm going to try to fix this dry skin, and I'm going to show you how, and probably it's going to be helpful to some people. Blush is next. I'm going to use this color in the middle today, but I'm going to go in with a very light brush because I don't want to drag my foundation even more. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank God, because I was really upset about my dry face, but this is actually so beautiful, and it's kind of hiding the patch I had there, so I'm happy. I think this is going to be my new favorite shade. This is a really old palette. It's from Sleek. It's the Blush by 3 palette in Lace 365. I don't think they have individual names, but I'm using this one in the middle. Do a little bit on my nose as well, and a little bit on my forehead. I don't think I'm going to do any highlighter. I'm going to do a little bit of nose contour, and that's going to be it for the face. Using the same contours I've used for my face and a really thin tapered brush, I'm going to do 2 lines straight up here, and I like to contour a little bit here and a little bit down my nose. Okay, and then I'm going to blend this just using my fingers. Taking the Dalba spray again, this is going to save my life, I think, because my skin is really drying out. So I'm going to apply another thick layer of this. It's also going to dissolve the bake I have left under my eyes. My skin is now dry and it's looking very glowy. It actually might be looking too glowy for me, but at least it doesn't look so dry anymore. So this face mist from Dalba is a real gem if you have dry skin. For the eyes, as promised, I'm going to use only 2 brushes that I think you should definitely have in your makeup collection, because these are going to make your job so much easier if you want to do a little bit of an eye look. You don't have to do extravagant stuff, but you can do with these brushes. But if you just want to do like a simple eye look, first of all, and the most important, you are going to need a blending brush. This is a blending brush, and as you can see, it's really fine. It has these fine hairs. It's not too stiff. The next brush you're going to need is a small, a little bit of a tapered even brush. The first thing we're going to do is put some color on our crease, and I'm going to use the same bronzing palette I'm using for my face, and I'm going to use this light brown. I'm just going to apply it with my eyes closed. I'm just going to apply it above my lid in circular motions and using very soft pressure. And then at the end, I'm just going to elongate where my eyes end a little bit. Again, I'm barely touching my skin. And for a daytime look, you can actually even stop here, or maybe apply like a matte vanilla color on your lids. But for this, we are going to apply a darker shade of brown on the crease, and I'm going to take that from this palette. It's from Pupa, and it's called Shine Bright Eye Palette Wild Tan from this, and it's like a shimmery brown. You can also take a matte, and I'm going to take it with my other brush for today, about this much on the brush, and I'm just going to apply it over my crease, like this part where I applied the brown color, also with my eyes open. You can do this kind of messily, it's fine, because we're going to blend it after. If you don't have much lid space, apply this with your eyes open and just go above the eyes. Like if your eye is covering this area, you're going to go above the lashes. I'm going to go again with the same brown I've used before and the same blending brush I've used before. I'm going to go over it to just kind of blend this darker shade here. Okay, that's actually perfect. Next, I'm going to do my lower lash line, and I'm going to grab the smaller brush and the same brown, contouring brown we've used. With my eyes looking up, I'm just going to go underneath my eyelash. Now this has a little bit of the darker color on it, which is totally fine because I was going to go with the darker color anyway over it. Taking my other blending brush and the same brown, and I'm just going to lightly feather this here. And I'm actually going to go into the darker brown I've used before and intensify my lower lash line a little bit. Then with my blending brush again, I'm just going to blend this slightly. Perfect, and now it's time for the lighter color. Now you can use any color you prefer. This, I think I'm going to go with a silvery pigment that's looking like this, but you can also use a pressed shimmery shadow. This was a limited edition one from Jennifer Lopez collaboration with Inglot. This is the AMC Pure Pigment Eyeshadow in color 86. I'm just going to take my finger basically. I'm going to look down for this because I'm applying a pigment and I don't want it to be all over my face. So I'm just going to look down and apply it into the mirror all over my lid. So just using my finger. And if you're using a pigment like me or a glitter or any kind of shimmery shadow and you have some fallout on your face like I do, you can clean up the fallouts very easily using a eyebrow spoolie. You're going to use a white pigment or a white shimmery shadow. And I'm going to use this one here. And to make it pop a little bit more, I'm going to teach you a trick. You're going to take your setting spray. This one is from Is the Mask Fit Red Makeup Fixer. And you're going to spray it with the fixer. And then go into your shadow. It's going to make it so much more pigmented. It's going to glide on so easily and beautifully. And we're going to apply that just here. See how pigmented that is now? And also underneath the brow. I'm also going to apply it underneath my eye slightly here, just to lighten my eyes a little bit. Beautiful. I feel like I applied maybe a little bit too much, so I'm going to go in with the blending brush again and my brown color and just kind of intensify that brown a little bit more. And then just to complete the whole look, I'm going to take my small brush again. So I'm going to take Lava from the same palette, which is just a matte dark brown. Just take a little bit of it, and I'm going to apply it on my lash line here ever so slightly. As a finishing touch, I'm going to take a black pencil and I'm going to line my waterline and my bottom line with this one. One tip I have for this is to look in the opposite direction. So if you're lining the right top lash, then look on the bottom left while you're doing this. As mentioned, this step is optional, but I really like the difference it makes, so I highly recommend you do this. Mascara is next. I'm going to curl my lashes first and apply mascara, and I'm going to be back. For my brows, I'm just going to use a brow marker like this one. And I'm just going to draw some hairs in my brows to fill them in a little bit. So then that's the finished eye look. And for my lips, I'm going to do a pinkish nude color. And I'm going to start with this Rimmel lip liner in the color Cappuccino. I'm going to do 2 dots on my Cupid's bow, then go down and unite them. And then I'm not going to overline this side of my lips. I'm just going to overline a little bit on my Cupid's bow and down here. I'm going to blend this in using a lip brush. This is optional, but it's just going to make the lip line a little bit more seamless. And then I'm going to go in with a light pink color. This is from Vicon Cosmetics. It's in the color 72. And as a finishing touch, I'm going to go in with this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream in the color Cairo, just in the center. I'm going to correct the lips a little bit with my Concealer Trio and Concealer Tapered brush. And that is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Definitely let me know what looks would you like to see next from me. And don't forget to follow me on TikTok and Instagram, where I have even more videos and easy to do tutorials. The dead skills sitting on your skin. So another kind of blush. Sorry, that's my dog. Off with it's my sink. That's my dog. I don't know. My sink. Okay, see you soon.